Points reflected over an axis, graphically, from Google Classroom. Copy everything within the submit answer rectangle. So we'll get back to that. The first thing I'd like to do is I'm going to go ahead and just copy this image because I'm going to do a lot of talking. I want to be able to write on this page and show you kind of exactly what I'm working with here. So again, do not draw the graph on your sheet of paper. The first thing I want to do is just go over a little bit of the vocab. It said point E is located at the coordinate grid below. So here's point E, and the ordered pair, you don't have to write this, would be 1 to the right and then up 3. So my ordered pair would be 1, 3. Cool. We're supposed to plot the point E, and that's called a prime. E prime, the reflection of E over the x-axis. So I'm just going to grab a highlighter here. And the x-axis, my mirror, is going to be this line right here. So what we want to do is we want to travel from the pre-image, or point E, which is 1, 3, and we're going to travel directly to the mirror. And notice that that's going to be 3 units. Point E is found 3 units above the mirror, or the line of reflection, which means I'm going to go to this line of the reflection, and then instead of going up 3, I'll simply go down 1, 2, 3. And then I can mark that again as E prime. Again, when it doesn't have this little symbol here, this means this comes first. And when it has that little symbol called the prime, that means it comes second. So the ordered pair for this one is going to be 1 to the right and then down 3. Again, I'm just doing this visually. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into Delta Math. I'm going to do the same thing because that's what we have to do. So from the line of reflection, I went down 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put a dot there. And now we've got a bunch of things that we have to fill out. And this is what I was referencing as copy everything within the submit answer rectangle. So let's fill it out. The ordered pair for point E, again, you don't have to graph this like I drew it over here, but my ordered pair for that is 1, 3. The coordinates of E prime is 1, -3. When a point is reflected over the x-axis, let's see, they give us a choice. Does the x value or the x coordinate change, or is it the y coordinate? Well, my x values are 1 and 1, so that doesn't change. So it looks like the y coordinate changes. I'm going to hit submit on that answer. And this is actually the part that you should have copied. So I'm just going to go ahead. I've got this little copy feature. This is what I want you to write on your sheet of paper right here. So again, the coordinate grid does not need to be done, but I do need you to copy this down. And just to make sure everybody fully understands that, I'm just going to go ahead and box that. All right, so that's if it's across the x-axis. Let's stop, pause for a moment, and I'll see if I can find one across the y-axis. All right, next example. Again, the instructions remain the same. Points reflected over an axis graphically. Copy everything within the submit answer rectangle. From Delta Math, the new problem says the point S is plotted on the coordinate grid below. Plot point S prime, the reflection of S over the y-axis. So that's where it changed. Our first one was across the x-axis. Now this is over the y-axis. So just like I did in the last one, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and copy this grid. Let me say it again. You do not have to copy the grid. I'm just making sure that visually you see what's going on. So again, okay. So here we have, this is point S, this is my pre-image, and the ordered pair for point S, let's see, it would be right 5 and then down 3. So my ordered pair is 5 for X and -3 for Y. And then it did state across the Y-axis. So just to emphasize across the Y-axis, I'm going to go ahead and put kind of a dashed line to represent this value right here. Now, in order to find out where we're going to do it, we're going to travel from point S to the line of reflection, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 units to the right. Well, what would be the opposite to 5 units to the right? Well, that would be 5 units to the left of the line of reflection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to go ahead and label that as S prime. And again, that little symbol is called a prime, and that means that this came second. So this is the pre-image, and this is the image. Now the ordered pair for that was -5. Notice I went left 5, and then I went down to -3. All right. So again, just visually seeing what's going on, let's go back to the graph and fill it out. So we had to get this point. So let's see, this was 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. And now we fill out the ordered pairs. So the ordered pair for S is 5, -3. And then the coordinates of S prime is -5, -3. Again, you don't have to graph it, but I guess if it helps you, maybe consider that. Okay, when a point is reflected across the y-axis, well, let's take a look over here. Let's see, -5, -3, 5, -3. So it looks like the y values that stayed the change, so the x value is different. When a point is reflected across the y-axis, the x coordinate changes sign. And then we'll copy what was in the text box, and I got this little copy feature, so let me go ahead, and this is what you should be copying on your sheet as justification for your work. So I'm just going to go ahead and just resize that, and we'll box it. Again, get into the habit of boxing your final answer, and that's pretty much it.